Hey everyone, welcome to fefu.pod, the podcast where real medical students share their real journey. I am Aakash, a current medical student at fefu, and in today's episode we have someone special who just graduated from MBBS batch of 2025. She's been through it all, from stepping into Russia with uncertainty and no seniors to guide her, to completing 6 intense years of medical school. We'll talk about real challenges, homesickness, rating pressure, language barrier, racism, and of course the big decision ahead, FMG, PLAB or USMLE. If you are aspiring FEFU student or even just someone considering MBBS abroad, this episode is for you. A transparent, honest and unfiltered look at what studying medicine in Russia is really like.
Hello everybody, I am Dr. Sampada Mhatre, a medical graduate of the School of Medicine in Far Eastern Federal University, Vladivostok.
So I have prepared some questions for her. She'll be answering all the questions which you may have doubt in before joining this university. So let's start. I have divided this video into different segments. First will be introduction, MBBS academics, culture, food and lifestyle in Russia, challenges and social issues, clinical experience and practical training, system limitation and reality check, and final year plans and advice for you guys. So how do you feel after graduating?
Wow, that's a great question actually. It feels amazing and also a lot of mixture of emotions because to be very honest, I am the first doctor in my family. So it becomes
Special.
Yeah, it becomes a moment of honor, a moment of pride, and also a moment of a realization of what all responsibility lies ahead. So I'm overall very happy and excited for the future.
You were among the first batches who will be graduating, like you are the third batch who will be graduating from FEFU. So why you chose FEFU while there were no batch yet passed out?
Actually, what happened was when I took admission in fefu, that in that year there were a lot of like I had to consult a lot of agencies and I saw a lot of ads and a lot of reviews of different universities. From that, I chose fefu because I feel like it had a very good world ranking overall, and the way the whole infrastructure of the university was also good. And even though there were just few batches, I got in touch with some of the seniors through social media, like it could be Instagram, and then I also managed to get more contacts through my consultancy and some people, and that's how I felt like fefu would be appropriate for me because it was very comfortable overall. Yeah.
So when you were traveling from India to Russia, like what was your first impression? Is it same as you expected?
So when I first arrived to fefu campus, the ride was really long because the airport is situated around 45 minutes, 1 hour away from the campus. So while I was in the taxi, I was thinking like, where are we going? Because the campus is again on a island. It's known as the Ruski Island. So it is not located on the mainland. It was, I think, around 6 a.m. or very early in the morning, and there was like basically not a lot of light around. So I was very curious, like, where am I going? And the moment I touched the campus and the moment I entered and I saw the whole campus, I was really taken aback because it was actually better than what I saw in the photos. So it was good.
So now let's move on to next segment, settling in medical life. So do you have any friends in India? How, like, in comparison differ your lifestyle, their lifestyle, and like monthly expense and stress level and all?
So I do have some medical friends back home, like in India, and I have asked for their reviews or like how their life is in medicine. So no doubt, India is very intensive. Like it is very like they will make you grind very hard so that you become the doctor that you have to be. And what I would like to say is like in Russia, I think the education system is very different compared to the one in India, where they actually try to give the liberty and the freedom to the student to choose how intensively they want to study, and it's absolutely up to the student. So it actually gives an open space for students who are not that great, because I believe like every student is different. It's not necessary that every student is going to excel out there. There could be a range of students who are average and maybe sometimes below average, or there are these in between average and excellent. So these kind of students get the space to grow, and this is what I feel like the curriculum of Russia offers. And it depends on the students mainly about how they would like to tackle their struggles while they are navigating through the syllabus, the medical syllabus.
So in India, like curriculum is very strict and student have to grind to survive.
Yeah.
But in Russia, it's upon you how much you want to study,
Yes.
because after graduating, you eventually have to give the exam.
Yes.
So it depends on the student how much he want to like study hard and all. So now let's move on to next question. Was Russia as affordable as you expected, like before war and after war changes?
Actually, to be very honest, before the war that took place, it was kind of cheap. It was like, for example, I'll give you an example. If our month was going around 10 to 15K per rubles per month, then after the war it became kind of expensive, and around 20-25 was a minimum for most of us. Of course, that is again up to individual budgeting and how you want to manage your finances, but I feel like things have become expensive, and it's not only about how much you need, it's about the costing and the pricing of everything around. It's definitely increased.
So in your first year, how was your hostel life, like adjusting, living with a new roommate, different culture, different country? How was your experience?
So to be very honest, like I even mentioned it in the first segment of ours where I said like about the infrastructure. The infrastructure in FEFU is very comfortable compared to the rest of the universities in Russia, which I saw. What is comfortable is the campus gives you hostels. Hostels are basically these are hotel buildings which have been converted into hostels for students during the academic period, and after that in the summer it can be converted into hotels again. So basically you're living in hotel rooms as
I
hostel
have
rooms.
seen like in vacation they listed the rooms on like websites so people can come and live.
Exactly, yeah. So like people can come and vacation over here. So it is basic. So we can understand how comfortable it is. And when I came here for the first time, it was amazing. Like because I saw it in the photos when I asked the people around how is the hostel over there. And when they showed me, I couldn't believe my eyes because I was like, how is this possible? Like, how can they give so much comfort to a student? But then when I came and I saw, I was just like, that is true. Like, I was very sure about the credibility of the photos and everything that you see online. You can cross-check it with any one of us, like us seniors, for example, me or even Aakash, as a matter of fact. And he must have even given you a campus tour and a room tour and everything. So it is true, guys. It's not something that's just made up. Yeah, so it was very easy to settle in. And about living in these, see, if you want to have access to such privilege over here on campus, you need to study. Okay, that is one thing. Aakash, what do you have to say? Yeah,
So
definitely.
for me, like I have some like extracurricular activities. So I will say I am like a little bit above average. Every year I get a place in campus to live. That's I'll consider a privilege. Also, every time I get a good room.
Yes. So I need to mention it to the students who are watching this that there is another option for hostels. It's not only the ones on campus, it's the ones in the city. So I would say that the ones in the city could seem like a matter of inconvenience to most of the students because it is, see, there is this travel period that comes, and to be very honest, during harsh weathers like the winters of Russia, it's very difficult to travel. It's not impossible. I still have friends and there are still students living over there. So, but if you want this ease of access, this comfort and rooms, of course, rooms in the city dorms are not at all as what we have seen on campus. They're pretty different, and they're like regular hostels that are seen in most of the Russian universities. So yeah, so if you want all of this, then you have to be dedicated in your studies. Yeah.
So on approx like average, how much you spend per month, like from your first year, how it changes to like till your 6th year?
I think see the thing about university, what I feel as personally, it teaches, especially for the students that are coming abroad. I feel like there's a lot of bad light that has put on, like, that's been put on foreign medical graduates. Like, oh, these people are so spendthrifty and they just do not know anything. They just have a lot of money. But no, guys, no. I feel like as we develop as a student in Russia, we also develop into responsible adults, and we understand a lot of aspects of adulting early on in life compared to the Indian medical graduates, I feel personally, because there's a lot that you have to adjust, like when it comes to managing your finances, especially because you can't just be very easy with that, because it affects your life over here. The more you try to save, the more you invest in the right things, you will have those kind of returns. And this is, the more early on you learn this while you're a student over here, it is going to be beneficial for everybody. And I think Aakash also feels the same.
Yeah. So I like divide my monthly budget first. First thing I do is to pay my dormitory fees.
Yes.
Second is like if I have some like Wi-Fi, mobile recharge and everything, I spend secondary all this. And third, left the grocery. So I divide the left money with the 3 halves. Every time I go to Kalina Mall or so for shopping, I divide my first, second and third half. 3 times a month I go to shopping, and that's how I manage my budget. I monthly spend about 30,000 approx. And what's your opinion?
I think this is exactly how I also do my budgeting. Like if you take a month, then I will have these fixed costs and the ones which are miscellaneous, which can be adjustable. So the fixed cost, as you mentioned, it's the dormitory fees, it's the recharge, it's the water, how much I need to order, it's all of these things. If there are some medicines that you have to take per month, you can budget that also. And then comes the miscellaneous things, which includes our grocery, our outings, our extra things, like for example, there are these birthday budgets also which we keep. So then this comes into miscellaneous, and we try to have this idea beforehand, because we understand, like in the first year it's all about experimenting, it's about experiencing what all can you have, like what all expenses come. Second year you get an understanding, like okay, yeah, this is for sure, this is where I need to spend. And then from there, just like how I mentioned, that budgeting goes on. So from that, I feel like I also go about 20 to 25,000 per month is my budget. Yeah.
So now let's move on to the next segment, which is academics. So my first question is, what were the biggest struggle and subject in first year you find difficult and suggest to freshers so they can like start preparing for early?
Okay. So Aakash, like to be very honest, my first year was the most favorite year of my whole 6-year journey, because this year was relatively easy thanks to COVID. Yeah, so the subjects that we had were pretty new. It was like Russian, Latin and anatomy. So there was a lot of emphasis on subjects such as Russian and Latin. For me, I did struggle a little bit in the starting because it was a new introduction to a new subject. But eventually, with a lot of practice and a lot of positive mindset, I feel, to be very honest, you need to have a very good positive mindset towards subjects such as Latin and Russian, because I've seen a lot of students, I think in your year as well, I think you as well, did you?
From our year, there was 180 students, in which 120 students failed in first semester.
Oh my God. That is why I mentioned the necessity of this positive mindset, because I think there is a lot of negativity regarding these two subjects, and it is not as difficult as students have made them seem. And all I would like to say is, like, these subjects are doable. Like, I have graduated thanks to God and all the blessings that I have. But yeah, I have graduated, and I feel like if I can do it, then a lot of students can do it. And yeah, that's
everybody thinks that it is not necessary, we have to go back to India.
Exactly.
So why to learn language?
Yes.
And so why it is important to learn Russian language?
This is a very common question that I have been I've been coming across, because Lot of my juniors, lot of them. Like to be honest, I even helped some students, like juniors. I taught them at one point. I think when I was in the third or fourth year, because their teachers had asked me like, Sampada, you really need to like just give them a little bit of a direction in this. And I tried, and they were able to grasp it. And I feel there is a necessity of this language. Why? Because you are in a foreign land. You need to know this language, and you have chosen a specialty such as medicine, and it is not something like something that you can do without this whole specialty. So the more you learn the language, the more you get acquainted with the culture, the more you get closer to the locals in this country, the more I feel you'll have a wholesome experience in this country, and even in your whole academic life, because you get to experience more points of views, and your closeness with the professor increases, and the way a professor can communicate and solve your problems or your doubts will also.
For professors, they feel like easy in talking in Russian and like talk freely. They have to think in Russian and translate and then say.
So there comes this barrier. So the more you know the language, I feel you will have a lot of plus points. And there are some pros and cons. Like I don't want to learn, like as what you mentioned, like I don't want to use Russian. I don't want to settle in Russia. But no, for 6 years you're going to be in this country. For 6 years you might want to do a side hustle. You might want to. You will be posed with situations where it is of utmost necessity that you know this language. For example, I would say like some emergency situations such as being in an ambulance or talking to some stranger when you're lost, or you don't know how to find your way back over here. So that is where having a knowledge of a local language helps you. And I feel like all the students, if they have to take this extra effort in learning the language, they definitely must, because the returns of doing this one thing on a daily basis, that is practicing the language on a daily basis, is much more higher than just giving it negligence. So yeah.
So language is very important. Like after you step in like a Russian land, from airport till you graduate, like go back, it is very important. Like from calling taxi, buying some fruits or like anything, Russian is always required, and I think it is very important.
Yes, and it is a very nice language to flaunt.
It is not that hard, but grammar is hard, like changing in cases. So that is the hard part, but words and all you will be able to learn in first and second year. Then it will be easy.
Yeah, and I would like to give you a tip also, like because in our curriculum there is a lot of emphasis on grammar, but when it comes to real life conversations, the emphasis is definitely on vocabulary than the grammar, because you have to remember that the Russians do recognize that we are international people. It's not like they expect us to be like, yes, Sampada, I know you're from India, but I definitely want you to speak 101% clear Russian, because I've heard it from the Russians itself that they themselves take so many years to understand their own language. So it's difficult for them as well. So don't be focused on being 100% right when you're speaking. Just focus on your vocabulary. Try to get your thoughts across the Russian in Russian.
That's just convey the message.
Yes.
Like in words without conjugating, changing the grammar and past tense and all.
This is for the start, yeah. And then later, once you get a grasp of it, you will become much more smoother and more fluent, I feel.
So one of my friend, Douglas, who is in Eris.
Yes.
He suggested me to like when you wake up, like start thinking in Russian. I woke up, I'm going to like brush my teeth and like now I'm cooking, and like start thinking that way.
Yes.
So like then you will be able to like learn a little bit better or faster.
Yes. That's a good suggestion.
So how strict were teachers like year wise? Like I think every year there's like a 1 or 2 teacher like which is very hard to like get good grades from.
Oh, okay. So
start from first year.
So I think I'll not be taking names, but I'll just give you a general overview about what I feel. The first year and the second year, I feel the teachers are going to be very, very strict with you guys. Very. Why? Because they're trying to, establish discipline, establish, you know, that what you're doing is pretty serious and you really need to follow us, because otherwise you're just dead. Like, you know, you have no future later on.
Just like shape you from the first year.
Yes, yes, exactly. That is how we have also, like, I think during our schooling also, if you remember, like from, if you imagine yourself in grade 1 and then you understand by grade 12, like, you know, the amount of freedom and like the how less strict they become because they understand. So
you are adult now.
Yeah, you're an adult.
Understand yourself.
So once you leave high school and then you enter university life, you're not yet fully an adult. I think in most of the cases, like 90% of the cases, it's just that you're fresh from high school. So you're still naive, you're still a young adult who's just, you know, just trying to navigate through everything. So we have to establish some sort of rules, and that's what teachers do. Their thing is, they don't want you to just fall back on the hustle that is required, because if in the first 2 years you get a glimpse about how your life is going to be later, because in the 3rd, 4th and 5th, like from 3rd year onwards, the syllabus and the intensity of the of medicine becomes really high, and it is not everyone's cup of tea. It is not something that you, like, you know, it's not for the weak-minded people. So that is why I feel the teachers kind of push us a lot to just push our mind's limits, so that they want to remove that laziness. They want us to know that, you know, things are not always going to be according to your way, and they will teach you that this is the truth of life and this is how you're going to do things.
So according to my experience, like when my first day I had my first Russian class, so people were like didn't know the path, like how to navigate to class. So people were 2 to 3 minutes late. So on the first day, first class, our Russian teacher scolded us and like this, if you are a doctor, if you are late, your patient dies and all like this.
Yeah, so that's what, it's just like reinforcing the thought that you at the end of the day are going to be doctors. You are going to be responsible citizens of this world where people are going to look up to you. Like people say sometimes, like you know, the doctor is a form of God on, like, you know, living form of God on this planet Earth, and I think for a lot of people that's going to be something very big. And for us to be responsible and to reach till that point, we need to take some certain things seriously. Yeah.
So my next question is, what is like attendance system? Like, can you skip some classes like this?
Yes. So when it comes to attendance, first of all, I would like to talk about the grading system and how the how this education system works over here. So as you also must have noticed that there are 3 types of examinations, or the 3 types of ways of conducting an exam. So first one is just pass or fail, and then the second one is pass or fail with marks, and then the third one is examinations. So when it comes to classes and subjects which are related to these particular categories, let's talk about the pass or fail ones. So I feel like the attendance for these subjects is usually less intense, but I will not say that it is like, you know, absolutely okay if you...
But you must have the knowledge to pass the exam if attendance is less.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're giving less attendance to these kind of subjects, yeah, what you mentioned, you should at least have a good rapport with the teacher, or you should really have the right knowledge, and you should really be good at what the subject demands from you. And it is not like this that, you know, throughout the 6 years you're going to find that leniency in all of these subjects that come for pass or fail. But majority of the subjects, I can say, you can easily just be okay. One, if you have, like, you know, very good attendance where they'll not even ask you extra questions, and second, if you have a good knowledge about the subject in which you can afford missing it. So this is when it comes to pass or fail.
In the end, knowledge matter, like in all subject. If you have the knowledge, then no attendance, it will be okay.
Yes, yes. And then when it comes to pass or fail with marks, I feel, and examinations, to be very honest, I think you should take these subjects seriously. And of course, I forgot to mention about the lectures that take place at the beginning of each semester. it becomes very like there are some lectures where the attendance is mandatory, and some lectures which you can miss, and the university lets you, like, it gives you the liberty of doing that. But as I have seen the progress over the years, there was a lot more liberty in the starting, like when I was in my second or third year, where people could just, if you want to come, you come, if you don't want to come, you don't come. But now it's become a little bit more
Yeah.
stricter with the attendance.
So our like medicine head,
Mhm.
he like asks us to attend all the lectures, and he comes like for a like random check how many students are present, and it will be a plus point if you like attend all the classes, and you have like common lecture and different lecture like this, same subject. So it is also kind of repetitive, like same topics, but it will be better if you attend.
Yeah, like to be on the safer side. Yeah.
So the next question is, were like lab, simulation center, like all the models are sufficient for the clinical practice or exposure?
So I feel like our the School of Medicine and Life Sciences, that's the name of our college. So over there are some facilities which they provide, such as simulations for laparoscopy, and then for ECG, for injection. All of these are
Childbirth.
yeah, childbirth, pediatrics. You'll have some models. You'll have some models for gynecology and obstetrics. There are a lot of options available, and there is a human anatomy dissection lab where there's a whole body that is dissected and it's available for the students to refer. So all of these are there, but I believe that it's not enough for clinical understanding and knowledge. So to gain that, I would suggest, if the student is really hoping for some clinical exposure, first learn the Russian language. Utmost importance, learn the Russian language, because this opens immense doors for you to get opportunities like this. So if you have the Russian language, you can get in contact with the professors who will take you, they will personally take you to operations, to situations. They'll ask you to come to hospitals, they'll ask you to come anywhere. You just need to ask the right people at the right time, and I feel the professors over here are very friendly and kind, and if you have a genuine interest in knowing things, they'll definitely want to say yes to you. So if you want it, you can get it. So please learn the Russian language. Again, emphasis on that. It'll help you in the future. Yeah.
So next question is, like, a rating system a kind of pressure to you, like how you consider it?
To be honest, like, yeah, rating, it used to be like we used to know that we might get a rating and we'll definitely be placed in the campus. But now, for you guys, since last year or 2 years, it's become very difficult, I believe. Like, even if you have a high rating, but if you have some other issues, then also you will not be placed on the campus. So I believe rating system is something that people should take seriously if they want to live on the campus, and if they want to have access to all the facilities that the university has to offer. Yeah.
Earlier it was like new students were not provided room in Maliax, but according to last year, there were like many of the students were like living in Maliax from the first year. Like, the first year, like the best year, like free time and like best room. So it will be a better experience. It will be a better experience if you live in main campus in first year.
Yes.
So you can experience, like, I have to study hard for this type of environment again.
Yeah. So guys, be very wise with your decisions that you take in the 6 years, about what things you can compromise on and you can't compromise on. And this is your personal journey, I feel. And what is the intention of this podcast is to help you make the right decisions in the future and to avoid the mistakes that we have made till now. Yeah. So.
So the next question is, do you feel the syllabus of like Russian curriculum of medicine course is like outdated or not aligned to FMG exam?
Good question. Actually, I feel that the syllabus is, you can say, like 50% aligned and 50% not aligned, because the Russian curriculum demands another pattern of us studying. Like, the way of tackling questions is completely different. When it comes to FMG, it is according to the Indian system, it's according to the demands of the paper. about what kind of knowledge you need to be able to answer to the questions in the paper. So according to me, I feel if you want to pass the exams in the university, you need to follow the Russian curriculum. But if you want to see something for the long term, then you have to find a middle ground, and that you will do if again you have this preparedness for what you want to do in the future. If you have an idea earlier that you want to be giving this exam, the FMG and the Russian university exam, you will plan accordingly. Because what we used to do was, for example, there are 2 semesters in our academic year. So we understand that the semester exams are approaching, for example, in January or February. So our autumn semester starts in September. So for the months of September, October, November, December, we would kind of dedicate it for the FMG exam, and we would be like exam oriented for those kind of preparations. But when it came to the testing period, we would focus on the university exam syllabus, so that it's like, we're not wasting our time, we're not mismanaging our time, and we're not focusing on the wrong things. But at the same time, we are giving time to what matters. Yeah. So
also, if you have a senior to guide, it will be like very beneficial for you.
Yes.
He will exactly tell you what to study and what teacher will ask, so it can save you some time.
Yes. And one more tip, guys, for the first years and the second years who are very the newbies, the freshers of our campus, please try to step out of your bubble. Why? Because again, the amount of opportunities you have of mingling with seniors, and I'm telling you, and also because I exist, I feel that there are seniors who will guide you, and not all of them are bad. You just need to have the courage to come and approach. It's not like we're going to eat you. We completely understand. You guys are fellow medical students, and we were also in your shoes, so we are open to help you. And try to find opportunities in which you can come across some seniors, and try to find a way of bonding with them, because it saves a lot of your energy and a lot of doubts and a lot of insecurities about, it's not only academics. As I said, you guys are stepping into the life of adulting, so there are a lot of insights that we also learn on the way, which could help you guys. So try to be in contact with the seniors. Ask them for notes, ask them for what topics are important, talk to them about how there are teaching patterns of each teacher, what is their requirements.
Does attendance matter to them?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's all for this segment. So after a quick coffee break, we are back. So our next topic is culture, food and lifestyle in Russia. So how was your food experience in Russia? Have you tried any Russian famous cuisines?
Okay, so being an Indian, like an authentic Indian, I feel we have a certain taste, preference of spices, which is not very common over here. And thanks to Russia, I understand that there is a different way of living. Yeah, like the importance of our spices, and that there's a life other than spices over here. And where there is more importance given to the raw form of food, and the most very least amount of spices.
Effort.
Yeah,
least amount of effort.
Yeah, that is true. The effort, and also the taste. The taste is not something that sat with me well. I feel like thanks to Vladivostok being in the far east, it has some influences from our neighboring countries such as Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. So because of them, there are some some chances that you might find those cuisines over here, and if not the authentic Russian food, then you can of course go for those kind of foods, and that gives you a little bit hope, like okay fine, there is something else other than Indian food. And
there are Chinese restaurant like
Chinese
Umami
as well, yes. Yeah.
for ramen noodles and all. So there are different type of like Uzbeki restaurant, Indian restaurant of course, and Russian restaurant, and mostly cafes are very common for having a talk and coffee and all. So we move on to the next question. Next question is, what was it a struggle to cook, or did you enjoy it with your friends?
So I think cooking over here, it's up to you, how do you want to lead your life. So I tried both. I tried cooking with friends and I tried cooking alone, and I think both have their pros and cons, and I will always, actually it's really fun. It's really fun if you find a good set of people who are there to contribute in your efforts for making food. And a heads up to everyone, like, if you're a person who is an enthusiast of feeding people, you're going to have a lot of friends on campus. And it's really nice actually, because it's really difficult to find the discipline and, the energy after a long day of, college and managing yourself, to find the time and to manage it in your timetable to cook. So I feel if you are cooking with a group of friends, it's going to be fun and it's going to be effective, because you'll have company, it'll kind of freshen up your mood also, and you'll have a good time, and you can experiment with a lot of cuisines and dishes, because there is no limit over here. So that is nice about group cooking. And then I think as you grow older, then you might want to switch back to cooking by yourself. It's absolutely individual, like, I'm not generalizing over here. But what I did personally was, like, in the beginning, initial years, I really wanted to be around people, and I really liked the concept of group cooking, and it was really something that I loved. And then as I grew and as things became a little bit more serious when it came to career, and I felt like I really want to try things for myself, and I really want to manage things on my own. So then I opted for cooking by myself, and that was also a very wonderful experience. And yeah, so I think everyone should experience both.
So like for the cooking, like after like a long tiring day, you like have the courage to like cook for yourself, and like we appreciate more our parents, like how they like
how do they manage it all actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like there's this thing that we would do. For example, this is something that worked for me. I used to try. I was a person who would cook in the night. I know, like, there are some things that people will say, like, oh, you shouldn't be eating refrigerated food, and oh, you shouldn't be doing this and that. And I feel it worked for me, so I'm not sure if it's going to work for people. So what I used to do was, I used to cook in the night. I used to cook in the night for the dinner and for the lunch of the next day. So it was very efficient for me, because I would have classes throughout the day and I wouldn't find the time to cook in the afternoon. But I would, because I cook in the night, I would have the, dabba, like the tiffin would be ready, and I would just have to pack it in my bag, and I just would have to go. And I would dedicate in my whole day like maximum 1.5 hours for this whole cooking procedure. And I used to have a healthy meal, and in that 1.5 hour, I think everything was made, like, if you want to.
If there's like food prepared, like pre-planned meal, our whole day will be in mind, like chasing that.
Yeah.
After like classes, I'll go room and have
it. Yes. So that is one motivation to, even like on difficult days, we wouldn't have the motivation to wake up also, because we'll just be like, now we have to cook, and now
mostly
we have to
people like skip breakfast.
Yes. That is a very common thing that I've noticed. And yeah, for that we need to find faster ways. For me, it used to be a cup of coffee and just tea and some biscuits and all. But later, we understand the importance of a breakfast. Like, you need to have good breakfast over here. Otherwise, you'll find your hairs graying in the second or third year itself. And that is not a sight that everyone wants to see. So you guys have to do it for your health. You take it from me, I should have taken a little bit more care about nutrition. So yeah.
We move on to the next question. How's like weekend life in Russia, like relaxation parties and all?
So I think this is one major thing that you would notice once you come to Russia. I think every Indian, every person who has lived in India would notice, like, the importance this country gives to leisure time, the importance of it it gives to family time. If you would see, during the weekends, the streets would be flooded with families, with so many children, because people give a lot of importance to it over here. And it is there, like the hustle culture is there, but it's not as much as it is in India, where, like, the city never sleeps. In Russia, the city sleeps. Everyone sleeps. I feel the most stressed person also sleeps. And I think it's all about work-life balance, and I feel like in this country, they give a lot of importance to that. And that is one thing that's good. Yeah.
So like in vacation also, like New Year vacation, like everything will be closed and everyone went to their home for spending time with their families.
Yes. And so when it comes to weekends over here, of course, there are many restaurants, there are many, there are some places around Vladivostok also that are worth traveling. Like, if anyone manages to get a license over here and rent a car or something, that will be a lovely thing, just to take you and your friends and just plan, because will create memories. There are a lot of cliffs and a lot of capes around Vladivostok and this island. So there are opportunities for you guys to enjoy your weekends. So what we would do was, like, just we would know as we would get our schedules, like, okay, so then for this semester we have these exams and these things. So we would wait for those exams to get over and we would plan what we would do after the exams, because we knew we wanted to enjoy that moment. So that's how we would.
So earlier senior used to say it was extremely cold during their university days, but nowadays it is like milder than it used to be. So at your university days, like initial first, second, third year, how was weather like? Was it very cold?
Yes. Actually,
They used to say the snow will be like till our height.
Yeah. There would be, like, these mountains of snow actually around us, and there was this phenomenon that happened during our second year. I think that was during the COVID time. Or second semester, I'm not sure, but during that time, 2019 and 2020, there was this freezing rain, and it is one of the most beautiful phenomenon I have seen in my life, because what it was like, if there is a flower, okay, then the vapor around it would just freeze because of the temperature, and it was so fascinating. So what you would see on the streets, like, each grass strand would be covered in ice, each flower was covered in ice, and it was so beautiful. It was like,
do you have any pictures of that?
Yeah, I think I will show it to you, like, otherwise you can just put it up on the screen somewhere and you will understand. It was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen, and I don't think so you can see it everywhere, because every grass, like how I mentioned, every leaf, every branch, it was there. Oh, and even there is a very famous bridge over here, the Golden Bridge, like this one. So, not the Golden Bridge, this one, this Ruski Bridge. So the thing was, like, one of the wires also got frozen, and they had to repair that. So because they had to repair that, they
Bridge
had to,
was closed.
Yes, the bridge was closed, and then we had to travel from the island to the mainland in a ferry, and that was also another experience. Actually, it was something so memorable. It was so it was very nice. So yeah, like, you experience all of these things when you come outside India. Yeah.
So regarding weather, earlier it used to be very cold, but
yes.
nowadays
Now
it's getting milder, tolerable and all.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to the next segment, which is challenging and social life. So my first question is, did you face any racism from student, teacher or locals?
Okay, so my honest opinion is that I personally faced very hardly, I can just count them on my fingers, like very less amount of times that I faced racism over here. And it's not like explicit racism, as how like not very high level of racism.
Like everybody have a like stereotypes about Indians.
Yes, about Indians, because they are over here and it's very hard for them to accept a lot of things that are normal for us. For example, us walking in groups, us
Cooking together.
Yeah, cooking together, and then the need for all of us to cook so much food. Because it is true, I have barely seen Russians actually come to the kitchens which are there in our dormitories.
They just microwave some bread and
yes, they microwave or they just cook a little bit, and I think maybe they do it in their rooms, like, because hot plates and everything are available. I'm not sure, but then there's very less amount of times when they come, and then the whole kitchen is basically just used by Indians and Asians and other nationalities other than the Russians. So I was just thinking, okay, like this is what I feel. Like they have this other notion about us Indians, and there were some few other cases that I heard about from other students where they really felt like the treatment towards them was like, it wasn't that great because of the fact that they're Indians. So it comes down to, like, how the person is, like how is the local person, is that person like open-minded, are they really open-minded to interact with international students? Because I feel it's not only targeted to Indians, it could be targeted to the other nationalities as well, for nationalities that do not speak they do not speak Russian at all, and their languages and the way they look and the way they dress is completely different to what theirs is. So they'll just not feel familiar and they'll just be like, we don't really want to talk, but then they'll just do it because it's their job. and you can feel a little bit of hesitance in that, and
Can
that's
feel a
where-
little bit tension between them. Yeah?
Yes, but that is where the Russian language comes to save you. Like, I am telling you time and again, like in different segments, about the importance of language over here. Because the moment you have grasp on the language, and then they'll just be like, oh, so then this person's an international person and this person speaks our language. This person
It's
already...
like some foreigners visit India,
Yeah.
then they speak Hindi. It is very fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and you really want to respect this person, and that is how you kind of navigate your life over here. If you want to save yourself from racism and any sort of things like that, if you have command over the language over here, no one tries to mess with you. No one tries to mess with you. So yeah, that's what I'd like to say.
So if you are a research nerd, then you may have like searched Far Eastern Federal University on Quora. There are some like articles there that there is a girl on Quora talking about bad racism experienced in Russia. Like she faced like Russians say about her that she smells like curry and all. But as we talked about racism, it depend on individual person how he like carry himself. So it is individual.
Yes, because some of the times it happens like, see, for example, I know that I'm an Indian, and there are so many, like, you know, when it comes to different parts of India, like I feel like from every part of India, Indians look different. And it's very difficult for the foreigners to understand that you're from India. For example, I was always mistaken for a Colombian for some reason. And I would be like, I'm from India, and then they'd just be like, really? Because we saw a different type of Indian, and then I'd be like, the country has a variation of Indian. So it's just, yeah, it's about how much knowledge that the person who is judging you has truly about India, and how you portray India through yourself. So when you're a student here, it's not that you're only you're also the face of our nation, actually. So you have to live in a certain way, because you hold our passport, you hold the Indian passport. So I feel like every student that comes here should remember that about themselves, that they are a citizen of our country, and whatever is our feeling about the improvements of our country, that could be very personal. But when you come outside of India, I feel like this is again up to multiple POVs. Like, people can have a lot of things to say, but me, as I graduate from this university, I am proud to say that I'm Indian, and I am going to be saying this time and again, no matter what the people over here have to say about the Indians over here, that I am proud to be Indian, no matter what they feel, and I will always be that way. And I feel like the students over here should try to do things that makes India look good, no matter what the issues in our country are, and that is what I feel. Yeah.
So also it is like we also feel proud, like there is Russia Day, we participated and waved flag on a mountain top. So we also have like a feeling of like honor. This country gave us opportunity to become a doctor. Was there any discrimination between different nationalities by teachers?
To be honest, I did not experience it. But I did have some, like, I heard it from some people that they might have experienced it a little bit. But I cannot tell you for sure, because I feel most of the teachers, I think 90% of the teachers, they don't have that sort of outlook when they're teaching international students. Because all in all, I feel like we Indians, okay, we might be different. Like, each Indian is different over here. I just do not like to classify all of us as, you know, yeah, the Indian students are like all of them are the same. It's not true. I feel like just like how the Russians are, we can't say like all the Russians are the same. It's just that there are some good ones, there are some bad ones, or whatever it is. So we can't classify, and we shouldn't stereotype, and that's what the teachers also do. So in their education time, like, you know, there is classes. If you're a good student, then the teacher has a good impression about you, no matter what is your nationality. You just have to be very particular about what are the teacher's demands, and then you will never face any sort of discrimination that way. As long as you are studying what the teacher wants, like not studying, I mean the subject, but studying what the teacher's personality is and how she would like things to be. If you're going against it, then you push the teacher to a position where the teacher just like, is it like this with all of you students? Is it like this from all of the students of India? And this is how the human mind tries to classify, so that they can just navigate and make their lives easy. So this is what I feel like we have this responsibility as a student as well, to not put ourselves or like, because if you, for example, if I as a student was not responsible, then I kind of spoil the face of my nation. So people, I feel like the students should understand. That is why I mentioned earlier that it's not only you who you're representing, you're also representing your nation when you're outside of India. Because the country, people of this nation will view you as an international student who is from India. Yeah, they don't look at you the first thing. It's not like, okay, yeah, that this is Sampada from, Maharashtra and everything. No, they just know she's from India. And that is why you have this added responsibility, and I think people should take it seriously so that we can make more opportunities available to us as students, and people can look at us from different eyes, like Indians are not that bad, like we are judging them the wrong way, and we can eliminate racism that way.
Like good Indian image will be like lead to like more paths, like recently they are accepting Indian student like work as part-time in university.
Yes.
So if we like carry a good image and like work according to their requirement, so it will be better for like future students.
Yes, absolutely.
So the next question, do you think girls are safe in Russia, particularly in this university?
I would give this university for safety, and actually this country for safety, and for women 101 marks out of 100, because it's absolutely, of course there is I cannot say like that, like it's 100% safe. No place in this world is 100% safe, but comparatively it is very convenient for women and for girls to stay in this country. Because I get out at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever the reason be, I just want to go out for a walk next to the beach on this island, I can do it. I just absolutely can do it, and I know that nothing is going to happen to me because I've tried it for 6 years, and touch wood, nothing has happened to me, and I have not heard such cases that have particularly happened to girls, just like when it comes to teasing and catcalling, and how people are they just follow or they creep girls out. Nothing as that sort. So the parents can be they can just be rest assured that the girls over here are going to be safe, because I believe the Indian community is definitely always concerned. And if I, for example, wanted to take a university anywhere in India, I feel like parents would be concerned, first of all, because any place parents will be concerned for a girl, because I think it's a very parent wala instinct that there is. So they can be assured over here it's safe.
So that was all about challenges and like regarding social life. So now we move on to the next segment, which is clinical experience and like training. So very important topic. So let's start. So my first question is, were doctors supportive, and did they speak English with international students like while performing surgeries and all?
Okay, I would like to say that it is mixed. Like it depends on the knowledge of the professor or the surgeon. So there were kind surgeons as well, and then there were very rude and harsh surgeons, because we cannot expect kindness and cooperation in this field, because in India also, when you see how everything is done, it's just very straightforward and blunt. So to come to a foreign land and for a surgeon to be open-minded while doing surgery and explaining it to you in a language that it's not his first language. It's very rare, but it does exist, and I have experienced it because I've experienced it. And if not, then there are some professors that would like to keep some colleagues who do speak in the English language to help the students understand about what's happening, because they will ask the translator to translate the whole procedure that's happening. So that's also available. Like, yeah,
so
this is what
according to my experience, that recently the first year teachers of anatomy and physiology, they take student to surgery, attend surgeries, and they stand there and explain what is going on like in English language. So regarding this question, it is like they explain in English.
Yes.
So the next question is, did you get real hand experience on like blood drawn, physical exams and etc.?
Yes, I did get, but this was again for practice. We had some subjects such as transphysiology and basic nursing, where they kind of train us to draw blood. And first we start off with the mannequins, and then only will we move on to real people for drawing the blood. So I did get an opportunity to do that. Yeah.
So according to me, till second year we have like practiced on the mannequins, and we visited hospital in city. So I hope soon we will also get a chance like hands-on.
Yeah, yeah.
So we move on to the next question, which is, were you treated differently from Russian students in hospital settings?
I was not treated differently. I mean, because for the hospital rounds, whenever we went, I was not. We were not taken with the Russian students, like to be exact, because we were taken separately, and we had visits to the medical center, which is next to our college. And whenever we used to meet patients, they were informed prior that they are going to be visited by these students, and we used to interact with them. So of course, there's going to be this lax with the Russian students because they are the locals over here, so they have to do a lot more, but we were not bashed, or we were not expected to know a lot of things, because they also know that it's difficult. So they were not rude or anything. I just feel like we both have different places in our practice.
So my next question is, was the teaching quality both preclinical and clinical were up to the mark?
I believe the preclinical was good, and clinically, because we were the COVID batch, so we were restricted to a lot of opportunities during which we were taught the clinical subjects to go to the hospital and try. But we were taken. It's not like we were not taken. There were times when the professors would have to somehow arrange our visits to the hospital. So I think that compared to what you guys have, we did not have it up to the mark, and it's not sufficient for us. But I think you guys are getting more clinical exposure, and it's becoming
Yeah, as I
mandatory.
said earlier, it used to be like from second or third year, but nowadays from first year itself, people are like visiting surgeries and all. So it is great nowadays. Also, it will be sufficient for our batch, I hope. So my next question is, overall, how would you rate your 6 year like clinical practice?
Clinical practice, I feel like personally I could have gotten more exposure, and the amount that the university had provided was sufficient in terms of the academic hours that the university had to spend, but I feel I could have explored more options and put more time.
If
So,
you would have like more knowledge about Russian and like,
yeah, I feel like I do have knowledge about the language, but it wasn't sufficient enough to grab me, like, this opportunity. Or maybe I did not prioritize it in the specific years. So, because as I mentioned, like, you need a lot of prior planning about what you want to do in your life in the future, so that you can plan these things. Like, if you want to do research, if you want to go to the clinical departments, if you want to see all of this, you should have an idea pre-hand before the year starts during your vacation time, and then will you be able to actually navigate and reach there at that point. So I feel like there was a lacking in me that did not let me reach till that point. But yeah, I really hope from this podcast that you guys take it seriously, so that you guys have a better experience that way.
so like a quick summarize, how should they like approach like learn Russian, approach your professor and convince them and like visit hospital.
Yes, basically, yeah.
So my next question is, do you feel confident in your like medical skills?
To be very honest, right now, no, I do not, because I feel I have a lot more to gain. I need to gain a lot more knowledge, and I am on this. I am at this position where I know that I hold medical knowledge, but the application and the practical experience is at a lack, and I will be training for this in India when I go back, and I'm very positive that I will be able to catch up with it soon, because there were times when I went to India and then I tried practicing in the hospitals, and then I came in terms with what all is required as a physician in India, and I feel I will be able to catch up in that process.
In vacation, like they ask us to like complete certain number of hours in like
Yes.
hospital practice. Like, how was your experience? Like, you went from Russia to India, then practicing like clinical skills in hospital.
Yeah, actually, in India, there are lots of hospitals where you can just talk to them about the situation, and you can ask them about what all is required during, because for each summer practice that you get, you have a certain diary in which they tell you what all things are you supposed to have experience in, and accordingly, you can do that in the hospital that you're practicing in, like just not practicing or shadowing in, and you will be able to see how it is in India if you want to see a future there, and they will train you accordingly, and yeah, you'll hold that experience.
So like currently I am in second year, like end. Also this year, like my fellow groupmates have went to India, and some of are like practicing in like hospitals and all. So I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about that, like when they like came back and share their experience with me. So that we will discuss later.
Okay.
So the last question is like, as there are no cadavers due to the ethical like belief in Russia, also like are dummies bodies enough?
I believe that it is not enough, actually, to be very honest, because it will help you navigate at a beginner level. Like in the first year, if you compare to India and over here, India will give you a lot of things to learn, but then because of that you will have a lot more knowledge. But over here, it is difficult to understand everything just on the basis of dummies. So that is why I'll always encourage them to find other ways to get
But
more.
as per me, I think like for the starting, like when we see dummies, there are like we can differentiate like easily, like between nouns and all. So like for understanding on dummies, it will also have like advantage over like cadaver. And like directly, if we move on to cadaver, like we will not able to like distinguish between like things.
Yes.
Also, there is also a cadaver in M building, which is like preserved body, like somehow like they preserved like all the organs and the structure. That's all for the like clinical practice. So now let's move on to the next segment, which is system limitation and like reality check. So my first question is like, do you think the study pattern is enough to crack FMG or like exam USMLE or PLAB?
I would like to say no, it is not. It's not enough because the demands of the exams are completely different. As we mentioned earlier, like how FMG and the curriculum is different. The Russian curriculum and FMG pattern, it's completely different. So I feel if you want to do the exams, get to know about what you want in your life in the future, and if you feel like you want to pursue these exams, then you need to prepare from the materials. Right now, the professors who are aware about the USMLE exam and everything, they have begun to refer to the materials that are needed for USMLE, and they plan their teaching accordingly. That is a plus point, but that is for those are the professors who take the effort. But if it's someone, it's a very old professor or someone who is not aware about the exam, then they'll just resort to their old traditional way of teaching. So it is.
So like in your initial years, like first and second year, like you can talk to the seniors who will be like, some will be going to India, some will be like planning to give USMLE, some PLAB. So you can like talk to them and like get to know them, like why, what are the pros and cons, and how you can also like navigate
Right.
and get to know like through their journey. So that's it.
Yeah.
So the next question, do you think it would be a better option to take another drop here instead of like choosing MBBS abroad?
This is a very
Tricky question.
Yeah, this is too tricky. And as a person who has taken, I have personally taken 2 drops to crack the exam, and I feel like I do not regret my decision coming here. I feel it's really a very individual choice about what you feel is right in the moment.
About your age, like
Yeah.
your marks, how much you are lacking,
Yes.
and also like your financial condition.
Yes, and as I said, like if the NEET exam requires you to excel. I'm not saying that all the students will excel, because that is the truth, that is the reality, that the exam demands a lot of discipline, a lot of effort, a lot if you want to be at the top. So if it is not your cup of tea, and but you still have a passion for medicine, you still want to pursue, but you're not able to do it in India, don't give up on medicine, don't give up on your passion, because okay, if it's not happening in India, there are so many countries that's giving you an opportunity. If you have the facility, or if you have everything that can help you pursue it outside, so just keep it as an option, because at the end, like when you're old, then you don't want to be thinking that oh, I was not able to crack the NEET exam. That means I can never be a doctor, and that means I'm not smart enough. It doesn't mean that. It's just that maybe because, for example, like I've heard a lot of students who have gotten scores like 500 during my time, 500 and above. Actually.
6 years back.
Not 6 years back, I think around 3 or 4 years back. Yeah, I've heard people who have gotten this much score and they're still in Russia. So it doesn't mean that these people are not good in studies. It's just that they are maybe their financial standing is not that great that they can afford a college or anything of that cost over there in India. There could be multiple reasons. So I just feel like, you know, as a foreign medical graduate, I think it's our responsibility again to uplift the image of what we are making FMGs look like, because we have to support each other, because we are the people that can turn our images around. Because right now FMGs don't get a lot of good image. It's just that, oh yeah, these students just pass the NEET exam and then they just come. And I'm not denying that some students still do that. So again, that is up to the student, because maybe the student has different plans with life. So we can't actually put like, you know, one definition like of what is right and what is wrong and who's an FMG, who's a good, bad.
Indians are like this, FMG are like this,
Yes,
like a
yes,
whole
yes.
tag on like all the community.
Yeah. So I feel if you want to, if you trust yourself, if you feel like taking that drop, one more drop, I would be like, okay, fine. But do not feel this thing that, you know, in Russia it means I'm going to be one of those FMGs, like, you know, they're very dumb. No, please Google, YouTube, do anything that you can and just see the success stories of FMGs. There are really some bright students out here, and I feel if you feel like India is not for you right now, you can definitely come here. You can definitely be one of those top people that you dream of in medicine, but just trust yourself and follow your heart and don't give up on your passion.
Also, like there are some students who like didn't perform good in NEET, but here they are like excelling, like great marks,
Yes.
great scores. Yeah.
Yes.
So we move on to the next question. It is, do university ranking really matter, or is it more about lifestyle, bilingual teaching, and like budget?
I think it's the second one, what you mentioned. It's not about the university ranking. The university ranking tries to give you an overview about how the university is trying to be at the world's top, because it shows, like I would like to tell the students over here, like the university campus is really one of a kind and they always try to up their standards year by year. I have not seen anything going down. Nothing is going down, everything is going up over here.
They are like converting 2
Yes.
sharing to 3 sharing. So
Yeah, that is because the
more number
demands.
of applicant and
Yes.
higher the ranking is getting higher every year.
So then that is the demand for the university that's increasing, and they're trying to like, you know, accommodate all of these changes in the most comfortable way. I get it, like, you know, the 2 sharings are converting into 3 sharings. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it'll happen. It'll somehow people will get used to it, and I really hope there is a way in which the students try to ease into that change.
Also, like there will be more applicants like from India who will be thinking to coming to Russia. Like here there are limited seats, like 250 for like all nationalities. Also, if they are like converting 2 to 3, also we will have like more number of seats, like more student will get to chance to like become a doctor. So it is also a plus and minus for us. So now let's talk about some disadvantages of studying abroad. So my first point is like distance from India.
Yeah, so to be honest, I think about my university, I can speak for my university. It comes in the Far East, and the distance, if you're not going via Moscow, it is very convenient. It's not like it's going to take forever. I think within 1 day you'll be reaching home if you book the right flights and everything. But when it comes to going via Moscow, because we had to do that during COVID times, because there were some like issues of traveling via different countries. So then I feel like that would be a long journey, because from here to Moscow would be 8.5 hours. Then from Moscow to India would be another 6 hours.
So like Moscow to Vladivostok, it is a very long flight.
Yes.
Plus the food they provide,
Yeah.
it is not like suitable for Indian students.
Yes. It's kind of, it's difficult for.
Also the next is expensive lifestyle.
Yeah, I would like to say that, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, like, getting 20-25K for 1 month, and that too just for one person. It is a little bit expensive when you see it from India's point of view also. And I feel, but okay, like it's a true reality of anywhere that you want to settle abroad or away from India, that these expenses should be calculated prior.
So like for a student it is like expensive lifestyle, but if you are working like in Russia, you will also have like a higher salary than Indian,
Yes.
also like to cope up with the like expensive things.
Yeah.
So we are like viewing like this, for us it is expensive, but if someone is living here and working, he will be earning more and spending more, so it will be like equal out for them.
Right. Fluctuation.
So the next disadvantage is ruble like rate differ. So like now the current rate is 0.91 or 92. So if your parents send 1 lakh from India, you will get here 90,000. So they have to send you 110,000. Here it will be 90,000. So if you are calculating your budget is like 45 lakhs. So then here, according to here, your total budget will be 50 to 52. So calculate your budget according to the ruble rate, which is like going on. You can check it on Google, like INR to ruble rate.
Yeah.
So calculate accordingly.
Yes.
So the next disadvantage is like no Indian mess.
Yeah, at least in our university, it's not established yet. Okay, we have done multiple attempts in trying to establish it, but not yet. I really hope later students find another way to kind of establish it. But nevertheless, even without the mess, we are up here alive. We are eating and we are doing stuff by ourselves. We've graduated. And I think we are the 4th batch or the 5th international batch that is actually graduating. So we are there. It's difficult, nonetheless, it's very difficult, but yeah, we can do it by ourselves. Yeah.
So the main reason there is no mess is because the different nationality students which are like here, Indians, Brazil, Colombian, and like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, like everyone have different eating habits, and the number of Indian students here are less comparative to other universities. Also, it is a federal university, that also like didn't give like some like third party brokers to like open a mess. So that's the main point why there is no mess.
Yeah.
Also, the next disadvantage is like increasing dormitory fees.
That I feel it's something that, nothing becomes cheap as the years pass. It's all increasing, and it will keep increasing because
What was your dormitory fee when you came in first year?
when we were here, it used to be the same, 4,000, like 3,900, and this was for 2 sharing. And as we came up, like right now in my 5th and the 6th year, that is when the dormitory fees increased. And now we are paying 5,000, like 4,900.
So according to like the batch of like 2025, it will be near to 6,000.
I guess, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think so.
So the next point, which is like a disadvantage, is like city dorm. So in vacation, like if you are not working in campus or not volunteering in economic forum, then they shift you like off to campus to city. Their living condition are different. So I think this is also a disadvantage for us. So now let's move on to the next segment, which is final year plans and like advice for the future students. So my first question is, what's next after graduation, like USMLE, PLAB or FMG?
Okay, so as I graduate, I am preparing for the FMGE examination. So I am doing that right now. And when it comes to abroad options, there is a lot of options like USMLE, PLAB. USMLE, it's still a little bit, I'm not sure yet. We need to confirm with the university officials regarding it, because about the CFMG credentials, we need to figure that out. And the rest is, I think it's intact. And I'll see as time passes, as I practice, what best suits for me.
So my next question is, when is the like ideal time to start preparing for FMG or like any other exam?
I believe it can be in the 2nd year, like according to me, because it actually can even be the 1st year. It depends on you as an individual. Again, you should be very well versed about how you are when it comes to studying. What would you like to see in the future? Because anytime that you decide, like if it's the first year, second year, it's going to be beneficial for you. You can start, if you want to start at a very relaxed pace, you can start at the first year itself. If you want to be like, okay, now I think I'm ready, you can start from the second year. Because to be honest, students that come to FEFU, they take the first year to adjust to the whole idea and the concept of what is FEFU. Like, what is this university? What is the campus like? What are the friends over here? So it takes time. So that's why I feel like in the second year is when you can be like, okay, let me just start doing something for the exam.
So my next question is like, how did you manage like time for preparing FMG plus participating in extracurricular or like studying for your class, like for the class, like teacher, what teacher wants like from you?
Scheduling. One stop answer for everything, scheduling. This is something I would like to advise all the students that is here on the campus, that if you want to be a part of extracurricular activities, you want to achieve like some certificates and some something else, you need to schedule it within your calendar, because when you do that, then only will it become realistic. Otherwise it's just going to be plans that have never been
I just like there are many extracurricular activities and I just take a screenshot and like forgot it.
Yes,
I just need to like set a reminder like 1 to 2 hours prior to it.
Yeah, prior to it, or not even maybe 1 or 2 hours, maybe a week or a month prior, because there are some events I absolutely would like the students to hear, the students over here to take this from Russia about the importance of time. There is a lot of importance of time over here in this country, and when it comes to like being at normal classes, as you mentioned, or some appointments or anything like these, the country will teach you that you need to, and that is how we also can take this one good thing about them, and then we can understand, like, because if there's an event, there is a preparation that's going to start from 3 months prior, like even if it's a small event. So you can imagine how much planning goes for that small event. So I feel you can easily put it in your calendar, like, okay, within 3 months I have to dedicate this one day or some few days for this event. And this is how you will get a hang of it after. I feel like after the first year, you'll definitely be aware if you are active enough in the university about how things work here. If not, then it's going to take you till the second or the third year to understand, like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. So that's how.
There are like many different like cultural events, like many events happen in university. You need to be just like aware, like where they are posting the news, which group and all. You have to just be aware if you want to like participate in like extracurricular events. Also like getting involved in like Russian cultural event. There is also event like called Russian Language Day, Russia Day, like on Russia Day. They took us to trekking, so maybe 3 or 4 Indians went there because most of them didn't have like the prior information. So we were not able to like register on time. The slots were full. Just you need to be like like informed, aware, and like you can ask your senior about that. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah.
So like how did you manage like high grades like whole 6 years?
Oh, okay. So this I would like to give some credit to, first of all, myself. Yes, because I really worked hard to maintain that along with other extracurricular activities. And second, to the people that I surrounded myself with, that is my friends. My friends, I am very grateful for the people that helped me throughout my 6-year journey. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am without them. And it is something that, that's very well said. Like, you are an average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And this is something that you guys, like as students, we should understand it earlier. If you understand it, it's better. And when you think about like, oh yeah, I have like, some temporary friends and I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to chill and everything. Okay, it could be a priority. I'm not saying that it's wrong. But if you want to get somewhere, you should be aware of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. So you need to have a very good support system when it comes to getting high grades, because it can be very devastatingly lonely in this foreign land, and it could be, you could be plagued with a lot of emotions and thoughts. So it is of utmost necessity that you take care of your mental health, and you find some people in these in this whole journey who can be really good cheerleaders in your times of darkness or in need. And of course, stay close with family. It doesn't mean like, you've come outside and then you're this whole new individual and you want to live your life, because I know this independence can make you feel really, really free. It's like a dream for a lot of students. Like, I've always wanted to be outside. I really want to be away from my family. I absolutely get it, but it is the feeling of being a part of a family that kind of sometimes saves you from a lot of negativity that place can bring
Like
you.
after like your whole day you explain everything your
Yeah.
family, like
Yes.
this happened, this teacher like said this, and like this was about
yes,
my
yeah.
whole day. Also, like if you have like good friends, it will be like very enjoy and like fun
Yes.
journey.
Mhm.
If you are like alone, like exam time, what to study, like how to study, it will be get like a really depressing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I am definitely saying that it could make your life very easier and wholesome. And that's what, don't be afraid to step out. Like, I feel in the beginning you're going to be a little bit hesitant about, I don't know, like, because India is not just one state, it's of multiple states. And then you will be hesitant about the peoples and you'll just be like, am I going to fit in? Am I going to adjust? It's until you try, you will never know. And it is something that you have to experience personally, because I feel it's a very personal experience that you get with each person from different states or whatever it is. You should get a personal touch to it. Then only will you understand, because sometimes, like, for me, for example, Sampada might be kind to someone, Sampada might not be kind to someone. So maybe you could be the person that Sampada is kind to. Like, yeah. So you have to just try your luck, and you have sufficient time, 6 years. So I feel try to develop that bond, because it will definitely help you in the future. And it's not only about academics. I'm not saying only about academics, because when we talk about health, we talk about physical, mental, social, emotional well-being. We talk about so many factors. So for that to take place, surround yourself with positivity. The world can be a negative place, because the world will keep throwing problems at you, but you need some people to tell you that it's not only the problems that the life is filled with. So yeah.
So like which year was like hectic for you? Like which you feel like I am burned out, I can't do this, like this is very hectic like this?
I think it was the 4th year.
Fourth year.
Yeah, 3rd and the 4th year were one of the most challenging years of my life, because the amount of syllabus, the amount of exam subjects, the strictness, the teachers that were taking the subject, it was it was very tough. It was very, and the scheduling of the exams, it was one of the tough. Those 2 years were one of the toughest times in my fefu journey. Yeah, I believe.
So I will be like starting my 3rd year. So like I am now
Beware,
aware.
Aakash. Yeah, just beware. Yeah, do not start late. Start now. Once the semester begins.
So was it difficult to like balance academic life, social life, or like the personal life?
It was initially, I would like to say, like, because I also was just navigating, I'm just a new person into this adulting life. It becomes very confusing. You often make a lot of mistakes on the way, from which you have to learn. That is all that you can do. Once you make a mistake, you have to retrospect, you have to learn from it, and then you have to apply the lesson in your life. And don't repeat the same mistakes again and again. So it will keep you it will give you a little bit of uncomfortability. You might have these nights where it's very difficult to look at life in a very positive way, but I feel like you will find a way out. Just be positive and just, yeah, you try to take the good lessons out of everything that happens to you. And yeah, that's what I'd like to say.
So like the next question is, what extracurricular activities you have participated like in 6 year, like which you like felt like it is good for you according to your like personal growth or like social?
I'll tell you from the start, like I was this person who was always into, like, the student organization and everything. It's from my school time actually. It's not something that, I just wanted to do in my university life. So when I initially came, I started volunteering for our Indian students organization, and I was like very into it. I wanted to do it. And then later on, I served at the vice president's post as well in this organization. So I was at that, and then the year after that, I was at the academic head position. So I did all of this, and while I was doing this also, I participated in some international organizations that was international, yeah, you can say international students organization like APIS. That's like an advisor program for international students. I did this for 2 years, 3 years, I feel like 2 to 3 years, and it was a very good wholesome experience where I met a lot of Russians, a lot of students from different countries, and this is where I increased my social circle, you can say. And I love, in general, I love interacting with people because there's a lot of exchange of ideas and thoughts which we are not aware of, and this is something that I think each student should indulge into because it lines with the growth mindset, which is very important for an individual person to excel or to reach somewhere in their life. So if a person indulges in some sort of activities like this, I feel like they can expand their chances of finding more opportunities for them to grow and to actually get what they want in their life. So this is something that I participated in, and I have also participated in things like this one, the Far Eastern Model United Nations, which was completely out of context. Like, it is not related to medicine, it's nothing related to medicine. And it was related to the United Nations, which we all are aware of, like in the world, what is the job of the United Nations. And once I participated, I understood how it works and what it is, and it was an eye opener for me. It was something I enjoyed experiencing because I again met a lot of nice Russians, English speaking Russians, which is it was
Strange.
yeah, it was strange, and it was also a melody to my ears to listen to English being spoken that much. And so it was a happy memory that I did in my sixth year in the final final few months of my FEFU journey. And also when it comes to something that has been related to medical, this thing related to our medicine, then I also participated in this anatomy Olympiad, like quiz Olympiad, which was held online, but I did participate in it. So it was it, yeah. And yeah, these are the things that I think were like included in my extracurriculars. And then when it comes to sports and stuff like that, then I think I did not participate in team sports, but then I was active throughout my year when it comes to playing with friends and everything. I was there, volleyball, table tennis, be it. And I did once participate in a chess tournament when it came to extracurriculars. So
There are like many
many opportunities
but
actually.
there are many if you know English, but there will be like many more if you like learn in Russian language.
Yes. Into
It will open many doors for you.
Yes.
The second last question is, what would you do differently if you had to start from day one?
Day one.
From first year, like you will make more friends, something like this.
Yeah, I feel if I were to restart my journey in FEFU, I think I would be more intentional about the people I surround myself with, and I would be more clear, or I would actually take an effort to make my mind more clear about where I picture myself in the future when I start this journey in FEFU, so that I would have made my FEFU journey more memorable and more wholesome. I'm not regretting anything right now, but yeah, this is what I would change.
Also, the last question is one piece of advice for students who are like about to join FEFU or like medical studies abroad.
Okay. So to everyone who is joining FEFU, I would like to say, be ready to experience an adventure of a lifetime in FEFU, because that's what I experienced over here. It was a small window into how life is and what life can bring to you. So embrace it with a whole big heart. And FEFU is not for the faint-hearted. It is for people who are strong and who are willing to fight, wake up every day and just be like, you can do this. And I believe anyone who is watching this video at this point, and if you made it till the end of this video, then I think like you really have that spark in you. So don't give up on that. Yeah, and all the best for whatever is ahead for you.
So that was all the questions I have prepared for her. Like,
yeah,
this will be a long podcast, but if you have watched till the end, now you know everything from first year which you should like tackle and like how to prepare. Also like get to like make friends with senior. It will be easier for you, and just study and like be honest, and like everything will be smooth.
Yes. So I would like to thank Akash for this opportunity to come in front of this camera and speak about my experiences in FEFU. And really, I hope this podcast helps a lot of the students out there to understand how things will be. And yeah.
Heads up for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So there are like not many seniors like who are willing to like come and give their like precious time. Like she will be going to India like
Yes, soon.
3-4 days later. So like she must have like spent some more time with her friends or like enjoy city and all. So thanks to her like for sharing like her experience, like so you can be like be aware of the like future hurdles you will like come across.
Yes.
So that's all for like this episode. Also, if you have like, if I haven't covered like any question, you can like comment down, and from in next episode I will ask the next guest who will be there and your doubt will be clear.
Okay.
That's all for this episode, and now I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Oh bye Akash. हो गया
कितना टाइम हो गया?
4